Okay, good morning students. So now we will discuss our second chapter, that is rational and irrational numbers. So as you already knew about the number system, our number system has been classified into two parts. One is real number system and another one is imaginary number system. So real number system is the system which can be represented on the number line. This is the number line that you already knew, 1, 2, here all the positive values, then here all the negative values. And imaginary numbers cannot be represented on the number line. Okay, imaginary numbers you cannot represent on the number line. Now this real number system is again classified into two parts. First one is rational number and second one is irrational number. So as you already knew about the rational numbers, the rational numbers are of the form p upon q. Okay, they should be in the form of fractions, where p and q belongs to integers and q should not be equal to 0. So again we have one more part of rational number, that is integer, that is -2, -1, 0, 1, 2 and so on, all the positive values and all the negative values. Then again integers are classified into two parts. One is whole number that starts from 0, 1, 2 and so on, and then you have negative integers like -1, -2 and so on, like this. Then whole numbers has again two parts. One is natural numbers. So you already knew natural numbers. They start from 1, 2, 3 like this, and then 0. Okay. Also rational numbers have fractions also. All the fractions are rational numbers. Like you have studied proper fraction. Then you know improper fraction. Okay. Then you know mixed fraction, proper mean in which denominator is less than the numerator, for example. Improper in which numerator is greater than the denominator, and the mixed fraction which you will write like this. Okay, these type of fraction. So in all we can say all the fractions, all the integers, all the negative integers, all the natural numbers, all the whole numbers, they all are the rational numbers, but reverse is not true. And irrational numbers are the numbers like √2, √3, then pi is also a irrational number, and so on. Okay. So there is no largest rational number and there is no greatest rational number which exists. Similarly, in case of irrational number also, all the rational number, there is no negative irrational number, there is no largest irrational number and there is no smallest irrational number. Discuss few important properties of arithmetical operations of rational and irrational numbers. So when you add or when you subtract or when you multiply or when you divide a rational number and a irrational number, the answer you always get a irrational number. For example, 2 is a rational number and √3 is a irrational number. So when you add this, you will get the answer 2 plus √3, that is a irrational number. Similarly, again if I subtract 2 and √3, I will get this number only. So this is also an irrational number. Again I have multiplied a rational number into a irrational number. So my answer is 2 √3, that is a irrational number. Similarly, if you divide a rational number by a irrational number, again you will get the answer as a irrational number. Okay, so always remember these facts, that whenever you multiply, add, subtract, multiply or divide a rational number with an irrational number, you will always get a irrational number. But in other case, like if you add two irrational numbers, like I have add 2 minus √3 and 2 plus √3, so in that case what you will get, answer as 4. Similarly, I subtracted two irrational numbers, √3 and √3, so I get a 0. And similarly, in case of the multiplication, again two irrational numbers have been multiplied, so you will get the answer as 4. So where in this case, answer may or may not be the irrational numbers when you multiply, divide, subtract or add two irrational numbers. So you should remember these properties in your mind. Now, important things to be remember whenever you do the operations of irrational number. Okay, so never do the things like this, like √3 plus √3 is never equal to √5. Remember this, you cannot add these two. Okay, Similarly, if you write 2 plus root 3, it is never equal to 2 root 3. Okay, so these are the important things which you should remember whenever you do the mathematical operations of the irrational number and rational number. You cannot add two different irrational numbers together. Okay, these quantities should be same in the root. Similarly, you cannot add 2 and root 3 and you cannot write the answer as 2 into root 3. Okay, now we will see the decimal representation of rational and irrational numbers. So first we will discuss the rational numbers. So in terms of the decimals, a rational number is a terminating decimal like 1 upon 2. So when you divide 1 by 2, you will get the answer as 0.5. Or if it is non-terminating, then it should be repeating. For example, I have taken 2 upon 3. So what is 2 upon 3? When you divide, you will get 0.6666 and so on. Okay, so in terms of the decimal, remember this. If you want to state that rational number, it should be terminating, or if it is non-terminating, then it should be repeating. Now the question comes, how to check a rational number, a given fraction, whether it is a terminating decimal or not, without actually solving. Okay, without actually solving. So suppose I have a rational number p upon q. So q is its denominator. So what you will do? You will do the prime factorization of q. And after doing the prime factorization of q, if q is of the form 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n, okay, it should be of the form powers of 2 into powers of 5. Then in that case, that rational number is the terminating decimal. For example, I have taken an example 3 upon 8. So if you do the prime factorization of 8, what you will get? Power of 2, that is 2 cube. That means it is the terminating decimal. Now if you take suppose 3 upon 40 and you do the prime factorization, what you will get? 2 to the power 3 into 5. Again it is the terminating decimal. Similarly, I have taken one more example like 7 upon 120. So if you see very carefully and you do this prime factorization, what you will get? 2 to the power 3 into 5 into 3. Okay. So due to the presence of this 3, this rational number becomes non-terminating. Okay. So if the denominator is of the form only power of 2 or power of 2 and 5, except no number should be there, then in that case it should be the terminating decimal. Okay, after rational number, let's see the decimal representation of the irrational numbers. So a rational number is having the non-terminating and non-repeating decimal. Okay, for example, you have already calculated the values of root 2, root 3, which are not the perfect square in the 8th class. So suppose root 2 I have taken. So if you see carefully what is root 2, root 2 is 1.4142, and so on. Okay, it will never end and it will never repeat. Similarly, root 5, 5 is not a perfect square, root 7, 7 is not a perfect square. They all are the irrational number, cube root of 2, fifth root of 4, like this, which the quantities which cannot come out of the root. Okay, one more interesting irrational number is pi that we have used in the previous classes. So what actually is pi? It is the ratio of circumference of the circle to the diameter of the circle. And when it is calculated, the value of pi is approximately 3.1415926535897 and so on. So if you see carefully, its value is, although it is non-terminating, but it is also non-repeating. For our convenience, we are usually taking the value of pi as 22/7 or sometimes we are taking as 3.14, but you should always remember that pi is a irrational number due to its decimal representation.